Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Go, go! Got four now. Straight 15! Lefty.
Wentz now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there on the first play of the game. 53 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They go play action here on first down. Completes it to Aguilar. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Wentz going to throw. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Here's Goff. Oh, he's going to air it out right away, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Ertz has it left side. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Wentz. It's complete left side to Aguilar. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Go. 180. DC.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On first down, it's Gurley. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 39 that time.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To throw on 2nd down is Goff. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. Now Goff. Flushed out, and he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Goff now looking to throw. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And his kick is indeed good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Great 15, great 15.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Shorty, shorty, shorty. Go, go.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Here's a giant. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the gun, here's Goff. Looking deep for Adams. And it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. On 1st down, Wentz steps away to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mac Hollins the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Once again here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Goff. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw, Goff. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Louis. What? 180.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Out of the gun. Goff. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Goff now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10.
Super.
Goff dumps it off to Gurley, and he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To the air again. Goff. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Here's Goff. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Get ready. Go. 180.
A final shot before break here. Goff dancing to his left. Going up top for Kupp. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Here comes Cobb. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Super 66.
The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They run. It's Gurley. And bulldozing his way through. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Black 20.
On the toss. It's Gurley. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Super 66. Cut. 180.
Now they'll toss to Gurley left. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They get it to him running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
He gets away from one. He's going to rifle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there for Philly. 71 yards. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Elsewhere, a third-quarter score. It's the Cardinals. They are up in that game to this point. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Drops it off to Ajayi. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be second down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. D. Ford in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he rifles one incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Leave spot 3. Right to the 7. Hey, other side, solid.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Go. Lion. Straight 15.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. And the Reds got it. They bring him down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To throw is Wentz. Flush to his right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by John Johnson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Now Goff. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From the red zone now, Goff. Forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nigel Bradham in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On second down, here's Goff. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Looking for Woods that time. Third down here.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Listen. Jack! 17.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And it is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. D. Ford in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. In his own end zone, it's Wentz. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, 99 yards. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Goff. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This will be fielded at the 17. And oh, he spins past him and into space. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Oh, he fakes it, and he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. Ndamukong Suh, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz, eluding the pressure, and a big loss here as he's taken down. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And back at the beginning of the year, they said they